The international segment saw sales grow 15%, and Best Buy plans to open 10 to 15 stores in China this year. Of course, the real news may be what's happening here in the U.S. The company says it grabbed about a quarter point of market share. What will we buy? Notebook computers, Bob Pisani was talking about this, and flat panel TVs, even as prices for both fell, a lot more. Also, mobile phones, however, low double-digit decline in same-store sales of movies and music. And Best Buy is going to expand domestically this year, planning 50 to 55 new large stores in the U.S. and 75 to 100 smaller concept stores. Back to you.
Thank you, Jamie. More on the strong numbers from Best Buy. Right now, looking at a higher open on the stock with Trula, online retail analyst at UBS. Well, good morning. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
First, your impression of their numbers.
These are very good numbers. $1.82 did beat our number of $1.80, and the outlook for $3.45 to $3.60 is in range with our estimate of $3.50. But you have to remember, our number includes about 14 cents from share repurchases, so we'd really get about $3.36, which would be in line with the street. So if you take their $3.45 to $3.60 and you add, say, about 14 to 15 cents in just share repurchase potential, I think that the earnings estimates have to go much higher, and I think you'll see the street really raise price targets across the board now.
So, I mean, really, Best Buy kind of has the space all to itself now, right? There are regional competitors, but are there any national competitors anymore?
Well, there is Walmart, of course, as well as internet competitors like Amazon, those small companies.
Yeah.
But of course, I think the bear case scenario had been that margins will continue to be under pressure because of Walmart and Amazon. What really is going to surprise the street is that the Best Buy is expecting operating income margins to actually increase slightly in this upcoming fiscal year. You could still see some very margin pressure early on just because of the mix shift towards computers near term, but I think as you lap the Windows 7 launch back in October, that margin should improve, especially in the second half of the year, as well as 3D TV, as you mentioned.
All right, well, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Will Trula, hardline retail analyst at UBS.
What an interesting last name, Trula.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Exit 39.
Story back to medieval days there that maybe is more romantic than some others also by phones, but who knows. All right, next, big step in Dubai's bid to relieve the debt crisis. One of the top experts in the Arab world is with us right after the break to talk about the deal.
And later, focus on the financials and from big banks to small caps. We will
Right at the end of the ramp.
Tiger Woods, Mickelson, Fury, and the rest of the world's top golfers are headed to the Masters. Starts to right left inside of 5 feet. You can hear complete coverage on the PGA Tour Network, except 146. We'll see how it plays out. And right with both hands and up to the crowd, and the crowd goes into a crescendo. Let's go play. The PGA Tour Network will provide full coverage of the year's first major championship. The PGA Tour Network, XM 146.
You up for a round of word association? What do you think when I say incorporate your business or form an LLC? How about wills, trusts, and powers of attorney? If you answered LegalZoom.com, brilliant thinking. But what if I said trademarks, patents, real estate, small claims, uncontested divorce, even bankruptcy help? I hope you thought of LegalZoom first for these legal documents as well. Then here's why. LegalZoom empowers people like us, people with zero legal experience, people who may wonder if they really can create their own superb legal documents. You can. LegalZoom makes it incredibly fast and easy. They have free customer support to help you. Remember, for personal and business online legal documents, think LegalZoom first. LegalZoom puts the law on your side. LegalZoom is the law firm started by top attorneys to provide self-help services at your specific direction. Get even more savings if you're serious in the referral box to check out. That's LegalZoom.com.
Breaking news, the IRS has announced that they're extending the 2009 leniency program for the time being. But in Atlanta, here's Richard Boggs, Nationwide Tax Relief founder and CEO. This is the biggest news out of the IRS in 10 years. Right now, my staff of tax attorneys can get a 50 to 90% tax debt reduction in many cases. For somebody else, $20,000 or $2 million. This is their best chance to settle for less. Call the attorneys at Nationwide Tax Relief for your free confidential consultation at 800-680-2250. That's 800-680-2250 now. CNBC, covering the latest
fiscal news from Wall Street to Main Street to your street.
Business and financial news from around the world.
Fast, accurate, actionable, unbiased.
CNBC.
Sirius 129, XM 127.
Okay, and we're not down the opening bell. The futures are pointing to a nice, healthy open of maybe 16 points on the Dow and the Unities. Now the Unities is still trading at a level of 16 points on.
Okay, well, Mark, I'm going to talk a little bit about Dubai now. Dubai overnight announcing its long-awaited debt relief plan for Dubai World and Nakheel, which of course was the developer of those infamous palm-shaped islands. You know, this is an instant analysis. Hassan Masood, UBS Middle East and North Africa Head of Research and Senior Real Estate Analyst. He joins us from Dubai this evening. So always good to see you. We appreciate it. The initial reaction here for some in the U.S., and certainly when you look at some of the stocks of the British banks in particular that have exposure to Dubai World, is a big sign of relief. I mean, people seem to think this is a deal that lenders should be rolling over. A lot of this property is perhaps valued at 20 to 40 cents on the dollar, and they're going to get paid out in full. Is that the right way to see it?
93 South.
I think it's the right first step. You get clarity, you get visibility, and that's the trade. You see how the markets have reacted since the beginning of March. They have been anticipating this for a while, so we got good news that we were expecting, and the markets did show confidence in that. However, fundamentally, the issues still remain. We're still not talking about deleveraging. We're still looking at fundamental issues where job creation is still challenging. Property prices in our business are still going to go down. So we're trying to avoid near-term damage to the balance sheets that you can up to spend. And that's really the thing right now. It doesn't really seem to be issues in the money this time.
And does it resolve this situation? I mean, I know things are still to be determined. For example, they say they're going to pay everyone out at 100, but they don't say over what time frame necessarily. Because I think we're talking about money is coming from the Dubai government, but they went through months of pain to say the government wasn't involved, and now it is.
Well, actually, if you read this one,
Dascom Road exit, 42.
41. So, essentially, it's a bet that creditors have to make on the corporates, which is the body room.
Turn right at the end of the ramp.
Corporations can't have a viable restructuring plan, number one. And number two, the macro backdrop is going to improve. And other than that, it's pretty apparent that the strong support is not going to be in this financial restructuring, which could be over several years. As a creditor.
Here's the tricky part. Turn right. There'll be a truck turnaround sign. You'll be approaching the Raytheon gate and take your first left. And then Raytheon will be on the right. Middlesex Building, 60 Frontage Road, Andover.